Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited about our topic today. I'm excited to be here and I'm excited that you're here. So welcome to this month's Coffee Talk with Nico. I'm here with Julia Wurst. She is my right-hand friend and colleague who will be presenting with me this morning. She does a lot of my social media. And so we worked out this program together because I wanted to talk about the whys and whats, and then she's going to show you how. So I'm excited about that. So we're going to be talking about the tool inside Instagram called highlights. It's one of the best ways to get seen by more people, more viewers on Instagram, and to be strategic with your posting and planning. So thank you for being here this morning. Let's get going. And I am so stoked. All right. Let's see if I can do this right. There we go. All right, here we go. I'm so excited. All right, so who am I? I'm Nico Fisher, and I own a company called Skywriting by Nico, and I'm a lead project manager for marketing projects, and I love my job. I love to train baby boomers because I are one. I have been doing a lot of social media in staff training, co-organizer for Maui Business Brainstormers, which is coming back soon, and I'm really excited about that. I'm a score mentor for the Hawaii chapter, co-founder of the Maui Social Media School with Danielle Miller, and a Maui Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce board member. And I am so stoked to be here this morning, and I'm most excited that you are here to join us because Instagram is just being in this business now for, I guess, since 2006. I think that's 13 years, 14 years, something like that. Social media has grown so much, but I think Instagram has been the platform. Facebook is amazing also, but Instagram has been the platform that allows marketers to do a lot of great work. And so talking about Instagram highlights and how to use them effectively is going to help you understand how you can share more content and keep content alive. I'm just going to go through all of my slides. If you guys have questions, go ahead and jump in the chat box if you want. Julia, if you can help me out with that, that'd be terrific. We'll just keep it going. So we're going to talk about creating Instagram highlights, benefits of using them, organizing your stories, and I'll explain all of this to you, story promotions, educate your audience, and your brand continued, because that's what Instagram helps you do, is to keep content alive. So the benefits of using Instagram highlights is they go beyond 24 hours. So stories, I'm going to explain what stories are and all of that, but stories only last 24 hours. So highlights go beyond that. They help you organize content. They integrate outside Instagram users and can help you apply your content effectively, whatever it is, whether you're opening a new product, you have a sale coming up, you have an event that's happening. This allows you to actually show a bigger side of all of that. Kind of like behind the scenes sometimes, but not necessarily all the time. So what you need in order to use highlights is an Instagram profile page. You need to download the app on your phone. You need to have a plan of action. Plan of action for most things in marketing is necessary. You're going to need to design highlight covers, and I use Canva, of course, and create graphics to fit perfectly, because when you want things to run smoothly, you want to make sure that your sizing is right and everything looks good. This is all an extension of who we are. So if we're showing wonky pictures and if we're showing all kinds of stuff that is, not professional, it means our brand is not professional. So you really need to get yourself in the groove and make it happen. So highlights are an Instagram feature that allows users to save and organize their old Instagram stories on their profiles. Since Instagram stories only last for 24 hours, using highlights is a great way to lengthen their lifetime, and it means something. So stories are, I'm sure you use stories on Facebook. Instagram, they're basically the same. So Facebook owns Instagram, right? So bringing over stories to Instagram is it's pretty common now, but not everybody uses them. And so I'm going to tell you what this is. It's a feature that lets you share all the moments of your day, not just the ones you want to keep on your profile. As you share multiple photos or videos, I should say, they appear for 15 seconds in a slideshow format that becomes your story. Stories were made for Facebook to allow you to say for instance, you're going on the road to Hana. And can you imagine how many stops you make on the road to Hana? Probably 20 stops, easy. So if you took pictures from every stop, you can then create stories for 15 seconds. All of those pictures would come one after another. And so that's why stories were built on Facebook, and that's why stories are built here. But now we're using them in a different way. It's not just our day. It is events, things that are happening in business, things we want to relay, information. So we're going to go through a bunch of that stuff so you can see how we use those. There are 3 reasons to use stories. I love this little baby kitty on the bananas, and she says mine. I just love that. So stories are a chance to break free from regular stuff that you normally do, try something new, show off your human side, and be a little different. Show a little bit of yourself. It is also a way to organize your content in bite-sized pieces for our current day attention span. So Julie and I were just talking before we got on, and remember TED Talks? We'd actually sit and listen to a TED Talk for an hour. I mean, 15 seconds is a regular story. So, I mean, our attention span has shrunk like crazy. And I don't know necessarily that that's a bad thing, although getting your message across is the challenge. So using this highlight stories as a tool is going to help you keep your content alive. And I think that's pretty important. So things that are important to you, you can have on stories. Again, we'll show you that. So another reason to use stories is you offer followers exclusive content. So using Instagram stories to stage promotions or tease the release of a special product exclusively to your followers is one of the things that you get to do. So you can use this in a way that is going to be helpful and specific for you to connect with your followers. So you can do it privately or you can do it publicly. I would say do it publicly. So if you, I think we're going to go over this. If you do have a Instagram page, it has to be public in order for you to use stories and for you to use highlights. So there's that. And then the third reason is reaching a new audience. There's my kitty again. I just love that so much. So cute. When we're on our pages, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, we scroll through stories just like we do posts. And sometimes I stop, even reels. I look to see what the content is, and then I look to see if I want to take a look at it. So a lot of those stories, a lot of those reels are people I'm not connected to. They're followers of people I'm connected to. So all of a sudden now I'm seeing content that's not in my circle. It's someone else's circle. So using reels and stories allow you to have people view more of your information. So I get to see a greater amount of my friends and colleagues, and I see how they like my stories. It's a totally different group than my followers. It's really interesting to watch. I do look at who likes certain stories to see who I might be posting for in the future. If I want to see more of them, I want to do more of what they're interested in. If they looked at my stories and they liked it, hearted it, did whatever like that, whatever platform you're on, I know that that was something that they liked. And if I do more stories like that, maybe I can get them to come more into my circle. I started using stories just for funny photos and videos. That's basically what I do on my personal page on Facebook, is stupid things like this, like the kitty. I do stupid things, but it's because I want to. Okay, I don't do that on my business. I am kind of goofy in person. And so that's how I started using stories, and I love it. So using funny photos or videos allows me to keep connected with people. And as I was talking to Julia earlier, about connecting with people, even from kindergarten. You know, it's amazing to see the stories, the people who like my stories from kindergarten to now. And I've lived in several states and I've lived in several cities, and it's just amazing to see the collection of people who actually like specific stories. So it kind of cracks me up. It is funny to watch. There's one guy that is, when I sold real estate, he was my first broker, and he has to be close to 90 now, and he likes my stories. He likes the dumb ones. I just think that's so funny. It's like, how sweet is that, that I'm connecting with my first broker from when I started selling real estate in 1999. So it's kind of funny. It's good to see that he is up on things, and I'm all right with that. So reaching a new audience is huge. I mean, it's just massive. So that's stories. So now we're going to talk about highlights. So highlights are a little bit different. Highlights are groups of stories that you can create a folder as folder sections on your Instagram profile. And you can see what I have over here. This is where your story is, and I'm going to show you further. I'll show you a little bit more in the next few slides. But this means once you post a story, you can save it in a highlight, basically a folder that will display it on your Instagram profile. Remember, stories only last for 24 hours. So if you have them on your highlights, they'll last forever. There's one other thing you can do, and I don't know how advanced you guys are at this point in time, but you can activate the archive option that will automatically save your Instagram stories for future highlights. So you might want to look at that on your phone. That's a little bit more than highlights 101, but I just wanted to throw that in there. So if you see that you can activate an archive, go ahead and do so. It will be helpful for you. So why are they important? So understanding Instagram stories for business can be one of your main competitive advantages for 2022 and 2023 marketing activities. So it is a marketing tool that you can use and be specific about. Having produced story videos or images saved for future followers to view at any time. It makes highlights feature very important for small business owners and digital marketers. So if you're in the business to do marketing, or you're in your own business, you need to really look at this as a tool and think, how can I organize my story content? And I know Aisha is on, so she does weddings. She does a lot of things. So basically she could have highlights for weddings, for specific beaches, for I think she does hula dancing. I think she does forget what it's called. It's not psychology, but it's something like that, where people go in and talk to her for specific things personally. And so she could have highlights for all of those. And Brandy, for you, you can do islands. You can do events, you can do all sorts of things. So you think of your content and how you want to specifically categorize it, and that's what you can do with highlights. And it allows you to create your stories and then create highlights and keep things alive. So why use them? It allows you to save and categorize your stories on your profile, so followers new and old can view and interact with past stories. So, you don't post a story just because you're posting something. So okay, let me back this up. So when you are doing posting, sometimes, like before I got into marketing, posting was just, what am I going to do today? And so I would post something. Not anymore. We talk about what we're going to post at the beginning of the week, talk about how that, events that are coming up, or we strategize what we want to post. So it is important for you to know what you want to post and when you want to post it. And then stories can come in to support everything else that you're doing. So the two things you need to think about for highlights is highlight covers and highlight names. So think of Pinterest. I don't know if you guys have been on Pinterest, but remember you used to create a board and then you would create pins to put in that board? That's basically what highlights are, but they're for stories. You have stories and you put them in highlights that are, you can be strategic for a promotion or just to organize and make your brand easier to understand. It is a tool. So this is what some of my highlights look like. As you can see, they all look the same. I designed them all to look basically the same. So when you're looking at my Instagram, you're going to see a lot of this. It's a great idea to make multiple highlights for different types of content. So the title should coincide with each specific highlight, whatever it contains. Titles can be 15 characters long, but there's only space for 10. So if you have more than that, it will be able to show when they click on it, but it'll only show 10 characters. Just so you know that. I can go up to 15. And then the reason to use highlights is posting stories to a highlight after the 24 hours would increase overall story views by giving followers more opportunities to see and interact with them. So when someone gets in, likes you or understands who you are, they're going to be looking at your stuff because they like you and they want to know more about you. So it's important to note, though, that your official story views will not increase when someone views them in a highlight. So your stories, when they're live, that's when you get the numbers. When they go in highlights, your numbers stop, but people are still able to look at your highlights. So that's pretty important. You can make use of Instagram story promotions more accessible to people, so people don't know what you have going on every day. And it's important that if you have an event coming up, that you start talking about things in your stories so people can actually log in and connect with you. And then the third is it allows your audience to know more about you and your brand. So if you plan it right, you can really talk about pieces of your business that people can know. So if you have highlights of all the places, some people have highlights of all the places they visited, or if you're a beauty brand, you might have highlights of product launches, who they're for, how to use them, videos of, how to, or food influencers can use them to show off their favorite recipes or plates of food that they love, all sorts of things. So it is however you want to use it is going to be available to you. Through Instagram highlights, you have the ability to give your audience a glance at what makes you and your account unique and special. So here we are going to do this thing here. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to allow Julia to share because she now is going to talk to you about how to post them. So I'm going to stop sharing and Julia, you take it.
For having me on despite our technical difficulties.
And okay. I'm not going to cut it out, Julia. I'm going to say
that. All right. Well, like Nico said, posting to highlights on Instagram is a great way to share information with friends and clients that you want them to know right away without having to scroll through your profile or your photo grid. So imagine going to somebody's profile for the first time and you don't know who they are. Maybe a friend shared their profile on their stories. And so you clicked over. So it's a brand new experience. So that's kind of what I want you to imagine. So instead of going through all of their photos, you're going to start with those highlights, most likely. You're going to do both, but so Nico has highlights called Meet Nico. We decided we wanted to share a little bit about who she is, her services, coffee talks, client testimonials. So for this presentation, I decided to add a spotlight to share about other businesses that have worked with her to give them a shout out. So when you open up Instagram, you're going to start, it's going to open up on the home screen. So then you're going to swipe right on this screen. So see, here's you. You're going to swipe right and open up your stories. Now you're going to select the photo that you wish to use. So here's the photo in my photos on my phone, and I'm going to click on that one. Now this takes me to the screen where I can add that I'm going to share to the story. So this is the photo I've selected. And at this point, I can add other elements to my photo. I can tag this business if I want. I could add music. I forgot to add that to the list, but you can add music and you can add a fun GIF. You could say something extra like, they're so great, or you could just add fun emojis, whatever you add, but keep in mind that this will stay in your highlight forever. So it's not just going in a story that's going to disappear. You're just think about what you want people to see forever. So once you're happy with it, then you're going to click your story and we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, so now I'm back. Once your story is posted, you'll end up back on your profile page. As you can see, Nico's photo has a colorful ring around it. So this indicates that there's a story we haven't seen yet. We're going to click on her profile picture to go to that story and create a new highlight. So the highlights are located below the profile button, as you can see right there. Okay, when I click on her profile picture, this is the story I just posted that you watched me post. Click on the highlight button at the bottom. So it's that little heart down there. All right, once you click the highlight button, you have the option to add the story we just created to an existing highlight. So you can see the highlights there that she already has, or you can create a new one. So we're going to click on the plus sign and create a new highlight. So I've named this highlight Spotlight. So we're just going to go ahead and click add on that screen. All right, now we need to add a new cover. So I have the highlight, but I don't have a cover yet. So we're going to click on the new highlight again. So you're going to go back and click on her. You're going to click on this highlight again and click the more on the bottom right. Okay, we're almost there. So this may kind of seem like a lot of steps, but it really only takes a few, maybe a minute once you kind of get the hang of it. So once I hit more, we click edit highlight. All right, now we're going to click edit cover. So once I click on the edit cover, it's going to show me my photos again. And right here is the photo that I picked. All right, so the new highlight cover is now created and it matches the rest of her page. If you don't have cover photos, the cover will just be the first story that you add for that highlight. So in looking at Nico's highlights, I love how they all go together, as she talked about a more cohesive brand. And now she can highlight a business whenever she wants and add them to this specific highlight. So you can see there that it does, when you do add a new highlight, it does go to the beginning of the line. So it'll be the first highlight that people see. I think that is the end of my portion. So Nico, do you want me to stop sharing here?
Yes.
Okay.
Stop sharing. And you guys, if you have questions, you could we could open it up for questions. So yeah. Do you have anything?
I didn't even know. I knew what those were, but I didn't know you could add stuff to that. So that was very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. That was amazing.
It's going to be fun for you because you have, oh my gosh, to decide what highlights you're going to want to put where, and then using stories, because your photos are just so beautiful.
Thank you.
So, I mean, that's the sale.
Yeah.
Right. And there's one that Julia made for me. It's testimonials.
Yes.
And so that is amazing. I love the testimonials because why not have those in there?
Yes.
You know, it's business. So
we have to toot our own horn sometimes, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if we're not, who's going to, you know?
So now when you get them, you're like, okay, I can create a story with my testimonial and then post it and then put it in highlights.
Funny, it's something I'm working on right now. I just did my screenshots of all the stuff that I want, but I have to go in Canva to kind of make it look pretty, you know, before I do that. But you know what else I've been doing too is like I've been trying to do a lot of videos, and like my bloopers, I like to add that in there too, because you know it's priceless, and again it lets people see, you know, maybe I don't want to add that to my highlights, but the story, you know, it's nice for people to see that, you know, yeah, this was the end product, but this is she didn't get it on the first take, you know, because I'm not perfect.
That's half the fun though, and you know we don't like perfect.
No.
Mm-mm.
at all. I mean, it's nice, but we can't relate with perfect.
No.
We
Right.
can relate to bloopers big time. So,
Yes.
hey, Aisha, did you have anything? Did you have any questions or thoughts or anything?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you
Yes.
can. We can.
Okay, because let me close the bird started chirping again a minute. There.
You're fine. You're fine.
Okay. Oh well, for one thing, can I? I'll be able to play this again. I want to listen to this and watch what you guys do again.
Yes.
So okay, great. Yeah. So then I can use the highlight to highlight a different like aspect of my business. And have it not be exactly like, so it won't be like on my presenting business
Like what? Give me an
page.
example.
Oh, like on your grid?
Yeah, well, see, like I want to, do more of my counseling. So I was wondering, do I have to start a whole new Instagram account, or can I, I do the counseling in the same place where I do my wedding planning and everything and meet with people. So could I just make a highlight, and then so people won't be confused? Oh, does she do wedding? Does she do counseling?
You know what you might do is, how we used to have a sign in front of our place, a shingle up that this is our business. It's
Yeah.
You see a sign. So you could have something like that would tell everybody what that is and have it on your page. That's your question is probably the golden question that most people have, is how do I connect two businesses together?
Yeah. That's
If
my
you
question.
had two Instagram pages, then you have doubled your work.
Mhm.
So having a shingle, if it's in the same business that you do it, but just changing the photo highlight cover is going to be very helpful, so everyone will know. And do you talk about that to people who are getting married? So it's kind of like, your business.
Premarital counseling.
Well, I do offer premarital counseling, but since most of my clients are in the mainland, that rarely is used. But
But that's really cool though. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Totally.
But yeah, so, but I do, I'm able to do a lot of other different types of counseling at my office. I actually do, I do angel card readings because it's something I can do really quickly and people really like it. So like, I would like to, have that in my Instagram, but without confusing people, without having to start a whole new Instagram account, like for angel card reading, for instance. I could just make that into a highlight.
Yeah, what's really nice, Aisha, is you just do it and see what it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't know until you actually do it. So just create your highlight covers. That's going to be most important, and have those in your photos so that when you are creating stories and putting them in highlights, you can add a cover that makes sense. And so I mean, just your marriage, but you're a lot of other things. So just practice and see what it feels like. And if it feels weird, like, oh, that doesn't really go, get rid of it. Just try it.
Another thing I would say is make sure your bio mentions all the little things that you do. Like wedding photographer, counselor, angel card reader, like put those things in your bio and then have them in the highlights. And then as you share posts and stories, it just becomes more integrated because people are going to go and look and go, oh, she does all these things. This is great.
Yeah, I don't think I
Awesome.
actually have a bio. I have to check that out.
Yeah, and look at what other people have just to see. You could put little icons in there if you want, depending on seriousness or how you want to be presented. You could just just decide on how you want to do it. But it's all of this is a trial. That's what we do. Everything is try and see and see what it feels like, and if it feels good, you're like, yeah, and if it doesn't, it hurt. Get rid of it.
Right. You can delete these highlights, right?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
And you can share posts to your stories and save them into your highlights if you want to just whatever you want to put in there. If you have a post on your grid, that you love and you want it to be in 2 places, put it in 2 places.
Mhm. Yeah,
Right. Okay.
yeah,
All
that's
right.
totally okay.
Mhm.
So it's just, I mean, it's all trial and error and see how it feels for you. And then other people can share. So this is like the basics of highlights. There is a lot more that you can do with it, but we had to set the stage for what you can do just so you can practice and play and see where it goes from there.
Okay. Well, I'm going to watch this again also.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
make sure to send it to you. I'm going to cut out some pieces.
We won't mention what pieces again.
Okay.
But
All right.
as always, you guys, this is a casual half hour, so I'm going to keep it at that. Thank you for joining us, and we'll do it again. I guess
Yeah.
that would be September 9th. So, boy, can you believe we're my life
No.
is going so fast.
Yeah.
I hope I'm doing good and important things.
Absolutely.
You're
Yeah.
doing great.
Anyway, you guys, thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Let me show my last screen just to say that we are doing this the right way. Let me get over here. There it is, my last screen. You can all see that. You can connect with me, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and the YouTube channel. YouTube channel is where I'm going to have all of these pieces. I have been in the process of creating my new website, and I have a whole page just for these. So it'll
Nice.
be easier to find in a bit. But if you can go back to, I'll send this slide deck to you, and you can just go back to the YouTube channel and you can see everything that we've done. I think this is maybe the 9th one. I don't know. I don't know how many we've done, but they're all interesting and easy to follow. So anyway, that's about it for me. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Julia, for being
Thank
the
you.
best person ever. I
Yes.
just
Thank
adore
you.
you. And you guys, thank you so much for joining us, and I can't wait to see what you do.
Thanks so much,
Thank
Nico.
you.
All right.
Thank you.
Aloha.
You all
Bye.
have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.